Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Jess Westbrook with the Mayfly Project is with us. It's expanding across the nation and even into the UK, teaching foster children how to fish. We'll be right back. Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and on this show, our guest is Jess Westbrook.
Yes, sir.
With the Mayfly Project. And Jess, we've known each other for, I don't know, a year or two. You guys in your ministry are involved in the ranch.
Yes, sir.
And you guys are involved in other aspects around not only the state of Arkansas, but all the way to UK.
Yes, sir.
So we want to know more about that, but before we do that, we want to know about you. So since it's been about a year or so since you've been on air, there may be one or two people that are watching right now that didn't see that show. So tell me about you. Where'd you grow up? Where are you from?
Yes, sir. So grew up in Benton. So lived here my entire life.
No, not yet.
Well, not yet. Yes, sir.
You're working on it.
Yes, sir. But I have a wife, Laura, and then I have 3 kids. So I have Case, Kyle, and Kate.
Age?
9, 6, and 4.
Did you get involved in the Mayfly Project because you had children and you wanted them to learn about fishing?
So I got involved because of the kids, but mainly because of the anxiety that came with kids, right? So being a new dad, I started experiencing panic attacks and anxiety, and I've fly fished my entire life, but it wasn't until Case was born that I started using fly fishing as a healing tool. And so
you have anxiety after the first child, or
after the first
when the
child.
second one showed up?
Yes, sir.
What hit you?
I think it was just worry about being a new dad, and what if something were to happen to me, and who would take care of Case. And
this is not a puppy.
Yes, sir. I thought it was going to be like a dog, but it was not.
This is a lifelong commitment, and this little child is totally dependent on me and my wife.
Yes, sir. And so started experiencing anxiety, and I've fly fished my entire life, but it wasn't until 9 years ago that I started using fly fishing as a healing tool.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a way to kind of give back, and the call was at we go to Midtown Church, and they were talking, and I kind of looked at Laura, and I was like, that's what I want to do, is I want to mentor foster kids. And so we started kind of working around with that, and we started mentoring a few kids, and Second Chance was actually our first project 8 years ago that we stared working with. And
did y'all take some of our ranch kids down to the Saline River there
yes,
at
sir.
the bridge?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yep. So we'd go down there and work with the kids, and we also teach them how to tie flies.
So is Dr. Rice involved in Mayfly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So he works with us. Dr. Rice is great. He's been with us since the beginning, and it's been awesome.
I think it was probably, 4 or 5 years ago. I was out at the ranch. We were building something out there, which we're always doing something, and I think you were out there, Doc was out there, and y'all had a group of kids, and y'all were tying flies.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
now somebody that's watching may be asking, because I grew up in the country, how do you tie a fly? I know how to tie a June bug on a string.
Yes, sir.
But when we talk about tying a fly, we're talking about the hook.
Yes, sir. So
little fuzzy things.
Taking a bare hook, and lashing materials to it to make it look like something. So a lot of times it's like a bait fish, or could look like a grasshopper. So anything like that. So
then you're out there doing the old.
Yes, sir. Shadow casting, like in a river runs through it.
All right. So I've seen that movie. Was that Brad Pitt?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And somebody mentioned that this morning on TV. That's so weird. So tell me, on the Saline River, do fish in the Saline River attack the fly?
Oh yeah, yes sir.
That's not just trout.
Nope. So a lot of times people think, when they think of fly fishing, they think of trout, but you can catch warm water species like bass and brim. You can also catch saltwater species like tarpon. And
you catch them in the Saline River there?
Oh yeah, yes sir.
Some big ones?
Yeah, well, I can't give away all our secret spots, Special Barry. But yeah, no, we'll catch them. We'll catch. And we like to connect our kids to their local ecosystems. Yeah. So we want to work with the kids at the river so they can go back down there and replicate it. And so the house where the pond is, so we work with the kids, fishing there.
When you say the house, me and you know that,
yeah.
But for our viewers, the house with the pond, we have 4 foster homes right here on this 25 acres where the studio is. and we have a rather nice pond. It's about
sir.
an acre and a half, I think, and that's got some. It's got one fish in there literally this big. They sent me a picture and said, "Pastor, we think we have a shark out here." It was scary.
Yeah, we saw him. It's a big old grass carp. We saw him yesterday when we were mentoring.
Yeah, he is huge.
He's big. I really want one of our kids to hook into it. But
Are you were at the foster homes yesterday?
yes,
here?
sir. Yes,
Well,
sir.
I'll be.
Or on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I'll be. Did y'all catch a bunch of stuff?
Yeah.
There's some big bass in there.
There is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now I'll tell you why there's big bass in there, but that's why we catch and release.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yes, sir.
The original home on the pond, what we call the pond property, which is literally 800 yards from here, it's on a septic tank.
Okay.
So those fish get extra veggie vitamins.
I gotcha.
And
Extra
so that's
bug
why
life
it's
in there.
catch and release. But there are some monster bass in
There
there.
are. Yes, sir.
So I was driving home from church on, I don't know what was going on, but I drove by the pond and there's two of my staff members that are out there on a boat.
Fishing.
Yeah. There's some big
awesome.
ones.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
you're a bitten young man, and you mentioned Midtown Church. So, you know, some people, the only exercise they get is jump to conclusions
Oh, yeah.
and running their mouth. So I don't want to jump to a conclusion, nor do I want to exercise. But tell me, that indicates to me and our viewers that you're a person of faith in Jesus Christ. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
accurate?
Yes, sir.
Tell
Yes,
me
sir.
about that.
Yeah, so, you know, I grew up in church.
Well, that was inconvenient. What did your parents do? They just come pick you up every...
Yeah, well,
They
you
stayed
know.
at home and
well,
left you
no,
with
it worked out well for them.
Where'd you
but,
grow up? What church was that?
So we went to Holland Chapel.
Okay,
growing up.
right
Yes,
down
sir.
the interstate.
Yes, sir. So grew up in Holland Chapel. You know, obviously, like, you know, faith, family, and fishing are some, you know, three things that are super important to me. And I definitely feel like, you know, my work with foster kids, especially take them fly fishing, you know, is definitely something that God's kind of put on my heart. You know, and like I said, when the idea for the Mayfly Project came about, it was during church, you know, and I often tell people, I'm like, you know, they'll be like, how's the Mayfly Project grown like it has and done all its great things? I'm like, well, it's not because Jess is smart, it's because, you know, there's a bigger power behind it than me.
You know what I say is God is the master at making his servants look smart.
Yes, sir, yeah. Thank goodness, you know.
And if you really want to know what smart is, it is finding out what God wants and going along with God's plan.
Yes, sir.
And he makes you look like you really have it together.
Yes, sir.
And people ask me all the time, how'd you get in all those schools that you spoke in? I said, the Lord opened up a door. I was faithful. He opened up another door. And next thing you know, I've been in hundreds and hundreds of schools.
Yes, sir.
You look at what God's done here in this ministry, it's the same thing. I think a lot of times Christians say, I have this great idea. God, will you bless it? I learned years ago, just God has great ideas. They're already blessed.
Yes,
so
sir.
ask him what he wants done and do it.
Yes, sir.
And,
I agree with that.
And it's awesome. So you guys have spread all over the nation and into the UK.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to take a break here in a moment, Jess, and we're going to come back and talk more about faith in Jesus Christ, ending the foster care crisis, because Mayfly Project is deeply involved in fostering, mentoring, and adopting. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Jess. But don't go away, because this show is meant to challenge you to get involved. We'll be right back.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. If you just happen to be joining us while you're channel surfing, thanks for watching. Our guest on this program is Jess Westbrook, who is the founder of Mayfly Project, which was just an idea that God dropped in your heart to help you as a brand new dad to deal with the anxiety of, I got a child, this is forever. And you might not have been too anxious in spite of all that. You've got 3 children now.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
you're going to be fly fishing the rest of your life,
That's
my
right.
brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to stay out there, so I can calm my nerves with 3 kids.
So you mentioned in the first segment that you were attending Holland Chapel Baptist. For our viewers, that's right on I-30 in Benton.
Yes, sir.
Where on the same general area at the airport is where Amplify is every year, which a lot of people that are watching would be familiar with the Amplify. That was always in the fall and just had one not too long ago.
Yes, sir.
And then somewhere along the line, I guess you must have married somebody and moved over to Midtown Church.
Yes, sir.
Your pastor's name is?
Doug Pruitt.
Doug Pruitt.
Yes, sir.
And he came from Geyer Springs Baptist Church. And since you're Baptist, I know you're born again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is correct.
And tell me, how old were you when you came to know the Lord personally as a born again believer, not just going to church because Mama had a drug problem and she drug you to church?
Yes, sir.
That's the joke. So tell me, how did you come to know the Lord and at what age?
Yeah, so I was 9 years old, I believe.
Vacation Bible school?
Not Vacation Bible School, at my grandma's house.
Oh yeah, Grandma did it?
Yeah. So my grandma, my grandma is somebody that I really look up to, and like I said, she's 96, so her birthday was last week.
She's still going.
Still going.
Wow,
yes, sir.
man.
Yes, sir. So she's awesome. But yeah, I was at my grandma's house. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Do you remember? Did you go, Grandma? How did that happen? She just say, son, I need you to know Jesus.
Yeah. I don't remember the exact words, but I'm pretty sure I was asking her questions. You know what I mean? And she was a great woman of faith, and like I said, a great example for me. And yeah, so we were just talking, and I remember, like I said, she led me to the Lord, and it was a
So did you
pretty
get
special
baptized
thing.
at Holland Chapel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is
sir.
cool.
Yes, sir. So,
I had a plumber working on a dishwasher this morning, and I said, "Hey, Daryl, isn't it your son that I see who plays football at Lakeside? He's in junior high school, and didn't I just see where y'all posted he got baptized?" He said, "Yeah." And he's about the age that you were, 9 years old.
Yes, sir.
He's probably 11 though, so he might be in middle school, maybe 6th grade or something. But isn't it cool?
It's super cool. It's super cool.
To come to know Jesus at such a young age. So are you indicating that you've lived a godly Christian life when you were a teenager and you never got involved in anything ungodly? You're perfect?
Well, I wouldn't say that, Pastor Perry. I grew up being a boy and I played college baseball, so I've made my fair share of mistakes. But
Did you? I'm asking you personally. Did you chew the chaw and spit and all that?
Yes, sir.
Boy,
of course.
That's some nasty stuff.
Of course.
I played baseball, but I couldn't do that.
Yes, sir.
I chewed super bubble.
Okay.
So where'd you play college ball at?
So I played 1 year at junior college in northeastern Oklahoma, and then finished up at Washita Baptist.
Well, way to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the Mayflower Project, y'all teach not just, I don't guess, just children in foster care.
Just foster care.
Just foster care.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
y'all work with the Baptist Home with Dr. Derek Brown and his ministry over there?
So we do not work with the Baptist Home. We work with the Methodist Group Home.
Yeah.
We work with Water Springs in
Methodist Home,
Texarkana.
20th and Fillmore.
Okay. Yep.
Do you know I lived there for 3 years?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
14 to 17.
Really? I did not know that.
I
No.
lived in Cottage 6 and Cottage 8.
Really?
The Methodist Children's Home.
Okay.
But where do you fish there? They don't have a pond.
Nope. So we'll take the kids out to different places. Like they're actually in 2 weeks taking them to. We have a pond behind Ashley's Furniture that the owners of Ashley's have been gracious enough to dedicate
Right here in
that.
Bryant on I-30?
Yes, sir.
I just talked to them while ago on the phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep. So that they designated that pond specifically for the Mayflower Project.
Well,
and so we have a big sign there that says for fishing only for kids in foster care, and we stocked it and did all kinds of cool stuff.
Well, that is cool.
Yeah.
Now, did y'all stock our pond?
We did.
I thought
Yes,
you
sir.
did.
Yep, we did.
So we got little fish, we
Yep.
got medium fish, we got big fish,
yes,
we got
sir.
that
All the
giant
fish. All the fish.
So Jesus is deeply involved in Mayflower Project. How did y'all expand in foster ministry throughout to the point now that's in UK, in London somewhere?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In London. So it's actually like social media is how we spread so fast.
Yeah.
We've actually had to purposefully slow down the growth of the Mayflower Project. So we only start 5 new projects a year. We have roughly 70 projects in like 35 states, and we have about 1,600 mentors that we're orchestrating and dealing with. And then, like you said, we have the UK project, which is our first overseas project, which has been very interesting to get up and going.
So if there's someone watching here in the VTN viewing audience, which is around the world, by the way, with the internet,
yes, sir.
and all over the state in the VTN audience, which is Memphis, Tennessee, and so forth, and they say, I want to know more about the Mayflower Project. Tell us how they can find that out.
So obviously our website, themayflowerproject.com, is a great place to start. We have tons of information on how to get involved, how to donate, all of those good things. Also reach out on social media, we obviously respond to that a whole lot. But the older I get, the more I notice my social media age is aging. So probably email is our best way to communicate. Yeah. So we have tons of information on our website and places.
So if they
like
go
that.
to the Mayflower website, there'll be a place where they can email you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
sir.
they can click on that.
Yeah.
So the wonderful part of TV, there's probably somehow mysteriously things have appeared at the bottom of our screen.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And
that
they'll
would
be
great.
able to reach out to you.
Yes,
so tell us the vision and what is your mission statement, if you will, for Mayflower, because you're dealing solely with children in foster care, and you're bringing mentors to help teach them something practical on how to fish.
Yes, sir. So, for us, and I wish I could, I probably should be able to recite our mission statement verbatim, but it's basically to connect kids in foster care to their local ecosystems through fly fishing.
Yeah.
And so we outfit our kids, we mentor our kids through 5 sessions, then we give them their own fly rod, pack, flies, all of that good stuff. So,
Are y'all a 501c3?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if a viewer or several hundred viewers wanted to donate, they could donate.
Yes, sir.
And that would also be available on the website. There's
Yes,
a place
sir.
to tab to click on.
Yes, sir. So we actually have an interactive map too, so we can see all our projects, and we actually allocate things for every project, so they have their own funds. So if you want to donate, if you're in Virginia, you want to donate to your local project, you can donate to them, and those monies will go to those kids in your local community.
That's awesome. We're going to take a brief break, and I'm going to let you see a Project Zero video where you'll be able to see and hear from a child who is looking for a forever family. We'll be right back with Jess.
My name is Nash. I am 15. I'm in 8th grade. I love school. Probably my main favorite is gym so far.
Tell me what you like to do when you're not in school.
Mainly be on the Fire Stick in the living room at home and being on the tablet or the Xbox. I've been in foster care for since I was 6 or 7 years old.
Do you mind sharing why you're in foster care?
It's mostly because where I lived, we were living in a trailer, garbage everywhere, things like that.
The reason we're doing this video is we are hoping to find a family to adopt you. Is that something that you want?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me why?
Because I've always dreamed of having a perfect family, one that can actually take care of me. The parents would always be around me and, we'd have good times.
So how do you stay hopeful and full of life?
I just remember my mom and my sister.
If there was a family that was watching this that was looking to maybe adopt a 15-year-old boy like you, what would you want them to know about you?
I'd be a perfect addition to the family.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. And I always say this, Jess, when we come back, that the videos that Project Zero are so gracious to share with us that we can help children voice their desire to have a forever family, an adoptive family.
Yes, sir.
There's so many foster ministries in the state that are doing such an awesome job. We mentioned the Compact Home Probably. We mentioned Derek Brown and the Baptist ministry, and,
Yes, sir.
and all the ones that I interrupted you a while ago that y'all are working with. But I wanted to correct something for our viewers. I mentioned, and I think I did this a year ago when I interviewed you, I keep calling your ministry the Mayflower Project, but the magic of television, if you don't mind me using the term magic, is they can actually help out our viewers by ignoring what I say and just read the bottom. It's
Yes,
the
sir.
Mayfly Project.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We get that a lot, you know,
Yeah.
with Mayflower, Arkansas, and,
Yeah.
you know, being from Arkansas. So we get that a lot. But yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I asked a guy one time what is his wife's favorite flower, and he said he thought it was Pillsbury. So that has nothing to do with our conversation. But this show is on the air to end the foster care crisis in Arkansas, and your ministry just helping children at Second Chance Ranch, the first ministry that Mayfly Project, you and Dr. Rice and some of your team came out there and taught our children how to tie flies and went down the Saline River and fished a little bit.
Yes, sir.
And now it's spread all across the nation.
Yes, sir.
Tell us just briefly, how did that start? You started out with us and coming to Second Chance Ranch,
Yes, sir.
and then boom, somebody else called you, and somebody else called you. Tell me about that.
So almost just like you described it, you know, somebody reached out to us and was like, "Hey, we want to try this." I'm like, "I don't think anybody else is going to think this is as cool as we do." You know what I mean? And then like, you know, we kind of tell people like fly fishermen are generally caring people, and so we say we're connecting the most caring people in the United States with our most vulnerable population, which are kids in foster care.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, I mean, it's, you know, just a God thing that it's spread across.
Do you have
US.
ladies tying flies too?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually way better at it than men, for sure.
My pastor from 1975 till 1983 tied his own flies.
Really?
And he sold them to all the guys in the church, and man, they were really into that.
That's awesome.
Pastor at Southwest Little Rock at First Church of God.
Okay.
And he was a great mentor of mine.
Yes, sir.
And I never tied a fly. I did go rabbit hunting with him and two guys in the church, and they nearly killed me. They shot a rabbit, and I was in that general direction. They peppered me pretty
Really?
good. Yeah.
Oh,
They said
man.
they loved me though.
Yes, sir. Well, you know.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So you guys have reached out. How many young people do you think that on a given period of time, a month or week, are involved in the Mayfly Project all across the nation?
So we mentor about 450 kids a year. They go through the 5 sessions. So we take our kids through 5 sessions within a 6-month window. So we have about 2,500 river outings with
So we
kids
got
across
we
the
got
US.
4.5 minutes. Tell me quickly about when somebody says Mayfly Project. You put them through sessions.
Yes, sir.
Tell me
Yep.
about that.
So we do 5 sessions with our kids within a 6-month window. Most of those sessions last like 2 to 4 hours, and we teach them everything from casting to conservation to time flies. We teach them, you know, everything they need to fly fish on their own, and then we give them all their own stuff. So we give them their own pack, their own flies, their own fly rod, everything. So our goal is, you know, being outside and being around water. Like there's proven facts that those will help, you know, anxiety, stress, all those things which all of our foster kids deal with. And so we're hoping that they use fly fishing as an outlet, just like I do, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling stressed, if I go fishing, I feel completely different.
What if there's some men or women or church groups, civic groups, and they know this is a faith-based ministry, and they say, I love fishing. I know what it's done for me. I live to fish. My daddy lived, I think literally he only worked to get money to go fishing.
Yes, sir.
I'm serious. That was my daddy. He was a fishing machine. He could fish. He could paddle the boat and fish and catch more fish than me, and I'm back there just fishing. He was good at it. But there's guys that are watching, and they're involved in their local church or civic group, and they say, I would love to be involved in fly fishing and mentoring young people.
Yes, sir.
How can they just reach out to you at your website?
Just reach out to us, or like I said, we have an interactive map where they can look and see if there's a project close to them, and we have an application, and that application, there's actually a drop-down box, so you can be like, oh, I want to apply for Benton, Arkansas, or I want to apply for Fredericksburg, Virginia, or wherever. So yeah, they can just go online and see if there's a project close to them, and if there's not, they can send us an email. And
Since the children are foster children, is there some sort of screening that
Yes, sir.
they have to go through like they do if they mentor at our ranch?
Yes, sir. So everybody, we do 3 references, and we actually talk to them. We have employees that call them and interview them, and then they go through background checks, and they go through trauma-informed care training. They have, a handbook and some expectations that they're expected to follow as while they're mentoring. And so, yes, sir, we put them through a pretty rigorous process to be able to interact with our kids.
In the process of the Mayfly project, teaching them all through these literally 5 steps, that's multiple hours, have y'all had occasions where, like you and your grandmama, where a foster child looks at one of your mentors and say, why do y'all do this? And you get to lead them to a prayer of faith in Jesus Christ?
So, we get that question a lot because, our foster kids are constantly being let down. And so a lot of times with our kids, they'll be like, why do y'all keep coming back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, obviously it depends on the mentor and, how comfortable they are with, talking to our kids. But yeah, we get the question a lot of like, why are y'all here? Why are y'all doing this? And everybody's doing it for different reasons. And for me, like I said, it's a God thing. So yes, sir, we get to have lots of cool conversations with our kids.
So if there's somebody out here in, I hate to use the term that people use, in TV land, and they're dealing with anxiety, and you found that faith in Christ, Jesus himself, and through your ministry skills,
yes, sir,
that it's really been a big help dealing with the anxiety that we're dealing with in our crazy, chaotic world now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So why don't you look at camera number 3,
Okay.
You've got 30 seconds, and just tell people how they can get to know Jesus.
Yeah, so, obviously just like me when I was a kid, I knew that I was missing something from my life. And so, in going to church and learning from my grandma, I knew that, Jesus was the only way that, I could get to
peace.
heaven and find peace.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was, accepting the Lord as my personal Savior was a huge moment for me. Like, any... like you said, during the most trying times of my life, I've leaned on fly fishing and Jesus.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 things. So if you can't get it from fly fishing or Jesus, you don't need it.
So all you have to do is what most of us do, and that's say, Jesus, I need you in my life. I need you to forgive me my sins. Come in my heart and save me. And watch what Jesus will do. Contact Jess and get involved in fostering, mentoring, and adoption. And we'll see you next week right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Bye-bye.